call to order the regular school board meeting of the Madison Central School District at 5:30 p.m. on Monday, February 10th. And Mr. Brooks, if you could record the members present and are absent. We do have Melanie on Zoom.
Yep.
And I believe that is it.
Yep.
We're on Zoom. Okay, so I will establish a quorum and we will stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You made me focus.
Yep. Okay, we all should have had a chance to look over the agenda for tonight. And don't see any changes, so can we go ahead and get an approval?
So
A
moved.
motion.
So moved.
Okay, Joel and Lindy. So, we have a motion on the floor. I'm sorry, I was sidetracked here. I have a motion on the floor to go ahead and approve the agenda as written. All those in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed,
Aye.
same sign. Okay, motion carries. Next item is approval of the consent agenda, items 7 through 9. If we need to pull anything out of there, we should do that now.
Like special thanks in for Mr. Shaw and Dr. Cook for all their years of service to the district.
Yes, how many combined years do we have there? Put you on the spot.
The word I can't remember I came up with was a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know.
You've been here 12, right?
And I think what Dr. Cook say,
25
yeah, between
total.
the teaching and
Yeah, 25 total,
a
so
lot of years.
it's a lot of years. Okay, if we can go ahead and get a motion to approve those consent agenda items, that'd be great.
So
Okay, we have Jordan,
second.
okay, and Joel. Okay, all those in favor of approving consent agenda items 7 through 9, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, next item on our agenda is number 10, and that is hearing of delegations. Anybody want to talk to us now? No? Okay. Next one is administrative reports. Did I skip something, Joel?
Nope, I did.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jorgensen.
First, before I get into the legislative, I got Mr. Shaw here and SRO Gant to talk about PBT plans for prom. So I'll turn it over to you gentlemen. I'm in support of this, trying to make it safe for our kids and alleviate some problems.
So I think in the 12 years I've been here, I think we've had one dance where we haven't had to deal with somebody drinking at prom, dances, etc. So what we'd like to do is make it not worth our while, but use the PBT system, but tag some prizes to it, and we want it to be a safe environment for kids. And you might catch 2 and 15 get out the door, and my concern is, do they get in the car and drive, etc. And this is supposed to be a tobacco-free, alcohol-free environment. So we're just looking for the safety of the kids. I know it's probably not going to be the most well-received thing in the world, but yet we're looking out for the kids and the safety of them. So that's where we want to get to. So, but I didn't want to just put it out there, so I went to Mr. Jorgensen, and then we felt it was important to come to you guys first.
Ben, you want to touch on that too?
Same thing, if we have a tool that can keep kids safer, we would be dumb not to use it, I feel. So I think with past, over the last 10 years I've been around, we've kind of lost sight of what prom and after prom is, by allowing certain things to happen And it's kinda, this is the first step of that with the PBTs and going forward with PBTs at other dances or functions as well, if necessary, along with not allowing them to leave once they enter the building for Grand March or for prom. They're not gonna be allowed to leave anymore, so hopefully alleviate any issues,
And that ties together with after prom too, right?
correct.
So, yeah, once we've got them in the building, they're gonna stay with us
So from prom to.
from prom, so once we,
Oh,
once
really?
we run them
Okay.
through the PBT, we'll check bags, we're gonna go through their bags, everything will be done, so they'll be with us till we let them go in the morning.
And then if they would leave early during that time, parents would be contacted to let them know. Because before it was, they would show up and kids would leave half hour into the dance, would be gone until 1 o'clock in the
Right,
morning.
right.
And some parents probably don't know that is happening. So to alleviate that is to get rid of that downtime in between, that they're not allowed to leave, because that's an opportunity for something to happen.
Mhm.
Again, we've had talks in this last couple of months, we just think it's the thing to do, want you to be aware of it, trying to alleviate any issues ahead of time, kids will know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So if they make a poor choice, I guess they make a poor choice, but it's not gonna be that we're surprising them, they know
Right.
this is how it's set up.
And they wouldn't have to attend if they don't want a PBT
Yeah.
right.
as well, or have their stuff searched, or don't bring what you don't want searched. So,
Again, the idea behind it is safety
Yeah.
for our kids.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other school districts that have been doing it for a while.
There are.
Yeah.
and the PBT, if you don't know anything about it, it's a portable breath test is what it is. You do not use the same tubes, it's a new straw or tube for each person. It's 6 seconds is what it takes to PBT somebody, or hopefully we'll have another officer here during that time frame to speed up the process even more. It's not evasive, it's like blowing bubbles in a glass of milk. So,
Would all be done out of sight underneath the bleachers before Grand March starts.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna make it a public thing like
Oh,
right
really, you're
for
not gonna
Grand
put it
March.
right out?
We
It's part of the
can,
Grand
yeah.
March?
Yeah,
Make them blow.
here, right before you walk out.
Before you, before the light shines around, yeah. No, that's good idea.
And just wanted you to be aware that we think it's the best thing to do moving forward and, our plan.
I will draft a letter to parents and I'll let the kids know. I would like to get this in place before I do go, so that whoever does come in has this set for the future.
Right.
It's been an issue and it's been needing to be dealt with in its time, so.
Mm-hmm.
If we make change, let's just do it all at once.
Yeah. Very good.
Are we looking for a motion, or we're just getting information?
No,
Just got the information, let you know how we're moving forward.
yeah.
Okay.
Now the fun stuff,
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
legislation.
Okay, yay. Roll up our sleeves here, huh?
I'm just gonna touch on a handful. The educational savings accounts, both 1020 and 1009, the voucher bills, they were both passed to the 41st day, which again, it doesn't mean they can't come back sometime between now and the end, but in visiting with a number of people, I think the appetite for them is increased.
Really, that's good news.
1040, the dual credit cost increase, basically our dual credit program, for the last number of years, the students, our parents have paid 33% of the cost, state's picked up 66%. They're shifting that to 50%, 50%.
Okay.
It's gonna go through, I'm just telling you, because they're trying to find ways to trim, they're trying to find, it's a great program, it's been successful for our kids and all the kids, but this is just one of the ways, it's still a good deal, I guess, it's half the cost, it's just not as good a deal as it was in the past, okay? I really expect that one will keep moving forward. 1041 state library cuts. I noticed Melanie was out there, Lisa was out there. It passed through joint appropriations as to do not support the cuts to go to joint appropriations. It's still gonna be in their bulk, or it doesn't mean that they may not still trim something. But the motion that was there was to not support the cuts.
Yes.
again, a lot of things are getting sent to joint appropriations, and when it's all said and done, they're gonna have to make some decisions in the joint appropriations, because they're gonna have to figure out what they are and aren't gonna cut. You wanna touch on that at all, Melanie, or not?
No, you did a pretty good job. There are 60 librarians there supporting that joint appropriations on Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday when I saw you, yeah, that was the House Education saying that was a big thing for us. That was a big win for the state library.
See, you needed to be there by about 7:05, some of us knew that, so we got seats, we got our good seats, whereas there was a lot of people standing in that committee.
Yeah.
It was packed, it was nice to see. Bond elections, 1093, this past House Ed, this is not a good bill, and the reason I say that is it requires that bond elections can only be passed during a primary or a general election. Which means you may be in the building process and you have to go to a bond, but the next primary isn't for 11 months. You can't try to lock in rates of any sort. Which means it's pretty hard to move forward with things if you don't know at least what the ballpark of those rates are. So there was great testimony, excellent points. Brookings, it would have cost them this last time, if they'd had to wait, it would have cost them over 20 years, $4.5 million. That came from First Bank and Trust numbers, so I think it may have been accurate. But, so I mean, there was really great testimony as to why this would be bad for schools. And Jen Lowry got up and spoke about how, you know, they're always trying to decide what they gotta do next, and they gotta be able to move and get buildings done, whatever it may be. And, again, great testimony against it, but it passed 8-7, which we knew would pass 8-7 in the House Ed. So that one will be to the floor here before long, and I've had good conversations with our legislators on that. 1094, bus safety video, I think this will keep moving forward. All this does is that currently if you had a video system, and a lot of the video systems have an outside camera too, if a car ran that stop arm, even though you had the video of it, you couldn't use the video of it in court.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is just that it doesn't require schools to have an exterior camera. However, if you have one, you can use it in municipal court when someone runs. This was brought by a couple different schools that have seen a lot of violations happening with stop sign out and cars flying by. So I really expect that one to keep moving forward. 1105, state motto in every classroom, passed House Ed, again 8-7. So that'll be on the House floor. Basically, we have the state, and God we trust, now this will be the state motto in every classroom. So we'll see where that goes. 1172 is the required video, chemical, and surgical abortions. That was supposed to be heard today, it wasn't heard today. Although they met back up again after the floor, so they may have actually heard it before the day was done, I'm not sure. And same with, and that one gets really deep in the woods. There's only one sponsor signed on that, so I'll leave it at that. Party affiliation on school board elections, that was actually being heard. They didn't see how the vote came out. Basically, you had to, for any elections for boards, now you had to put Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Independent, whatever. I think that'll get voted down, but we'll see. There's a lobbyist bill out there, 1185, and that is that you can't use any state dollars to pay for a lobbyist to testify. And the ironic thing about this is it would make it so that Department of Ed couldn't testify either because they get state dollars. And any of these couldn't testify because they get state dollars. So I don't expect that, we've seen bills like this before. It'll go by the wayside. The hearing bill that got everybody excited, that was withdrawn. I'll leave it at that.
That's good.
A few Senate bills. The 10 Commandments, that actually was on the House floor today, and that actually was defeated today, 37-31. That would have required the 10 Commandments be posted in every classroom, along with some teaching to the 10 Commandments. And that's where I think the real rub came in with most, is that who's teaching what. So that did go down today. Senate Bill 71, it did pass through the Senate. Over the House side, that was the age for dropout. And what is changing is that at age 16, you could enroll in a GED course, or at age 17, you can actually drop out with parent permission, written permission. Currently, right now, it's through 18. However, with alternative instruction stuff, basically they can sign out at whatever age. We don't know if they're getting instruction or not. So it's getting support, at least on the 16th phase, the GED. So we'll see where that one goes. Open meetings law, that's just waiting for the governor to sign, basically that you gotta review it yearly, so we'll add that to our July, meeting, that, we review the statute that talks about the open meeting laws. It's probably a good thing to have that as a reminder anyway, so we'll just add that to our July meeting. 161, the maximum admin salary, that failed on the Senate floor, and that really had to deal with about 8 schools, 8 of the largest AA schools is all that really dealt with. And then 190 is one we're watching. That's a tax credit. It's similar to a voucher. It's similar to the insurance tax credit right now. It's just another tax credit to try and do the same thing, end around of a voucher, basically. So things are changing daily. You ever want 7:45 a.m. House Ed or Senate Ed?
Yeah,
They're on. They usually go for 2 hours, so.
so that, Senate Bill 190, is that, I mean, the school board, or the Associated School Board stance on that? I was gonna
Is
look that up.
opposed.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought, but I
It's-
wasn't sure on
it's-
that.
Even the tax credit, or insurance tax credit, you can say what you want, it's a voucher.
It's a
I mean, it's a
voucher.
roundabout way of a
Well, right,
voucher
it
what
is.
And that's the same with this, it's just now another, trying to get another one in place, is my understanding. That has not been heard, I think it's scheduled actually for tomorrow, in
Okay.
committee meeting. And like I said, a lot of these are gonna get through the committees. Just tell them they're gonna get through the committees. That's it for, legislative, and it's gonna change a lot between now and the end, and until we get to that last week. I don't think we have anything locked in as far as funding, I don't think we have anything locked in as far as some of these bills that have gone away. That last week will be, I hope it's not like it was one year where we covered the clock on the last day, but I think it's all gonna happen in the last couple of days of session. They've got a lot to get through right now, and more of these that are getting passed through these committees, they're ending up on the floor. So at the floor, the House and Senate floor have a lot of bills to go through. So before long, we'll be putting in some long days.
It's interesting there. ASBSD supports 5 and opposes 40.
I don't even have those written down, so.
No.
Oh,
On their
bills, I
track.
think you meant Senate Bill 5. and
No,
Senate-
on their
Yeah.
Yeah,
on their tracker, they support 5 and they're opposed to 40,
Where do you go?
and they're moderating a ton.
yep, delegate assemblies last week, and that's just because a lot of these bills aren't positive bills for education.
No.
Yeah.
It's nice when we
usually
get
a
to
little
go out and
more
support
balanced.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have on that.
Okay. The, letter to the editor that went out about, funding and everything, I thought that was really well written. Did you write that, Mr. Jorgensen?
Which one?
The Associated School Boards of
Yeah.
South
Oh,
Dakota.
so
one.
you're going,
You're
No.
saying you're going.
I do a lot of things that I don't remember, but I don't remember that one, so, okay.
Associated School Board one,
Okay.
on the
I feel
state
better.
laws and
Yeah.
on the codified law on
Yep.
funding and,
I'm with you now.
yeah. I'm not sure how many people read those things, but,
Good.
you know, it was well written, I thought. So, okay, anything else? For
Nope,
admin
just
report?
hold on.
Yeah,
The
okay,
next few weeks will be, I may end up,
okay,
I hope not, but I'm probably gonna end up back out here at some point, so.
yeah, I see what you're talking about. Okay, let's go number 12. Zoning board member ASBSD appreciation certificates.
So I have a proclamation here from ASBSD in recognition of dedicated leadership in public education and for improving achievement for all public school students. Associated School Boards of South Dakota honors the Madison Central School District. South Dakota School Board Recognition Week, February 17th to the 21st. Garrett Bischoff, ASBSD President. So, we will hand out the certificates, appreciation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And on behalf of ASBSD,
They're different this time.
Rhonda in the office has the template down.
thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
policy. Mr. Brooks.
So the link attached is the updated then policy. Last month had the kind of the crossed out. Just as an overview, it's different state guidelines than when it was reviewed in the past. The first page is mostly goals associated with wellness. The second page references different standards. The next kind of the second to the third talks about competitive foods that will allow children to buy on campus. They have to meet certain criteria. Foods that aren't part of the food service. And then in the back we have kind of how we'll assess it in the future as a triennial assessment. We do have to take public notice each year, and there's 2 different ways that we'll do that. We think maybe we'll put a banner ads for public to click on, and then write put a comment they can view, and that way we meet that requirement. Then how we'll record keep, and then responsibility. So it's pretty straightforward. Our last one, you know, a number of years ago, they had a lot of different requirements. This one's a little more generic, but it's a nice flow to it. Our school nurse, Valerie Dudley, is our chair of this committee.
Okay, can we get a motion, and then we can discuss if we need to? Motion to approve or deny, whichever.
So moved.
Okay, Steve, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jordan. All right, we have a motion to approve board policy, JCL wellness policy. Do we have any discussion on that? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Melanie, cut you off. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, next agenda item is to consider approval of the 25-26 school start date and district calendar.
So as I mentioned last month, everything correlates to this year's calendar. The difference obviously is because December of when Christmas falls, it makes for a longer Christmas break for students and staff. Staff would just come back on that Friday, not kids. And this year we have some PD and some work day for that day with some input we took from staff. They wanted to have part of that, get ready second semester. The other big change is it's a 3-day spring break. And then out on the 19th. The 26th, you'll notice in March is on there. It's setting the time for the kindergarten screening. So it's well in advance, we know when the kindergarten screening is going to be held. And then we'll try to keep that as a corresponding date from year to year in that time frame when we have the kindergarten on.
We have Mother's Day noted on there, I think.
Do you have plans with your mom?
I don't know why I think so. We know of Boyd's graduation, but that's the first I've seen that was noted on there.
Because you take pictures,
Yeah.
I know you go all out there.
All right.
What is the requirement for like student contact hours? I know we have days on here, but what, because it's an hours.
So off the top of my head, I haven't probably, but it's like
60 something.
60.
Is that what?
5 or 63, and then it's different in
Each building.
in the younger grade span. It's a little bit different. We're well above the
Yeah.
hours in both cases. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to meet so many hours to be able to offer credit for that course.
We pride ourselves in not doing the bare minimum.
Correct.
Right. Our kids are smart.
Yes, they are.
And then what this doesn't show is that we've always had in our agreement, so that's 180 days. We have a 1-day floater as well. And that's for any type of PD they want to take over the summertime, and that's at full days rate of pay.
All right, could we get a motion to go ahead and approve the school district calendar? Okay, here's Steve. Second, did I hear you whisper over here, Joel?
Second.
All right. Okay, any More questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, the next agenda item is to have a resolution opposing the school voucher proposal. Mr. Jorgensen, do you want to talk about that at all, or?
It's just, this was by Associated School Boards, it's up there. It's basically just that, as public schools believe that public tax dollars should be for funding public schools, not for private. It's a stance, obviously, that Associated School Boards has taken, it's a stance that school administrators has taken. It's the start of the defunding of public schools. You can look at it however you want, but that's the bottom line. So I think, like I say, the proposal was written by the Associated School Boards. I don't have the exact number, but I believe it's in triple figures of how many school boards have adopted this because of the situation that public tax dollars is what funds us. You know, and this year is going to be a tight year with 1.25. If we get that when it's all said and done, and last I met with Mitch, a lot of our utilities aren't going up 1.25.
Yeah.
They're going up a lot different than that. So, again, it's the start of trying to defund. And the interesting thing is, in 7 of the states where they had passed some of this legislation and it went to a public vote, it was voted down in every one of those states. So, have a really strong.
I have a question.
Yep.
A little bit off from this, but I'm in favor of this. Does the ASBSD, Associated School Boards of South Dakota, have a committee that's dealing with the rationale of the folks bringing the voucher bills?
Yeah. So that'd be their executive board, just like Rob was on it before and stuff. How they, as those come in and then they meet, they have a delegate assembly as well, and they go through and decide bills they will support, bills that they won't support, or bills they're just gonna watch. We don't expect our lobbyists, whether it's ASBSD or SDUSA or SASD or a large school group, to get up on every bill. There's no point getting up on talking on every bill. Just certain bills that we need to make sure we're up front.
But they could present like a bullet point sheet of weaknesses that are perceived to exist in the current system?
Yep. And sometimes ASBSD will have that on their site. Sometimes SASD is good about sending us out information. We had a couple speakers early on in the deal that sent us information. There's ASBSD had the public schools
Right.
Talking points that came out too early on.
Because as the vouchers come, more questions might arise of why is everybody concerned
Yep.
about your schools, the South Dakota School Boards. So if you can address those issues, then the folks can go, oh, I understand the complaint,
Mhm.
and then they can decide whether that complaint is valid.
Right, and there is a document that,
That'd be good to know.
yes, they put out, I think, they emailed that to all of us, I think,
I believe so.
with talking points, which is just that, we just need, educate, and then people can make up their own minds on that, but, I think that's a great resource, and then I know with every bill that they either oppose or support, on the website, they give those.
Have the bill tracker, yeah.
Yeah, they have on their bill tracker thing, they get the opposition and
I think if you just narrow it down, then we don't get lost in the weeds of
Exactly.
the arguments.
Yep.
Because
Yes.
everybody has defended their arguments, so if we can just
Yep.
point out the fact.
the facts, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
but no, this is,
Good question though. I mean, I think that's important, for us to understand that.
I try to get one good question.
One a meeting, Steve, that's all we can handle. Okay, so, can I get a motion for us to support the resolution, that has the opposition to school, voucher proposal resolution? How's that?
Melanie, so moved.
Okay,
Second.
we're-
There's a race on that
well,
one.
she kinda delayed, Joel, so we'll give you first.
Everyone?
Yeah, no kidding. We can have a resounding, Do we have any more discussion on this? Hopefully everybody's had a chance to read it. I think, I mean, to me, we need to stand up for public education. That's part of our role and our job, and this is a good example of us doing this, so. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then, I assume that's in here somewhere for us to sign the.
Right, no, it's right here.
Okay, awesome. All right. Next agenda item is executive session in accordance with SDCL 125-2, Section 1 for personnel matters.
And there'll be no motion coming out of it, so.
Okay, good.
So Dan knows he doesn't